Hi folks, I'm here to give you a quick review of the Central Forge 2 3/4 inch articulated vacuum vise. Now this is a very inexpensive vise that can be purchased at your local Harbor Freight store, either online or locally, and it costs about $17 if you get one of their coupons, and depending on your state sales tax you can be out the door in $15 or less. I purchased this vise to use as a occasional vise to hold a compound bow to perform minor maintenance items on it. I'm a little bit of a hobbyist, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time working on bows, so I didn't want to spend anywhere from 4 to 10 times as much to get a dedicated archery bow vise. So I bought this to see how it would work out. Now, Harbor Freight on the owner's manual considers this to be a hobby vise, and that's probably pretty good advice. It's not a heavy-duty vise. It only weighs about 3 pounds. It does have a suction bottom, but that suction bottom is only a temporary suction. Don't expect to attach this to a table or a countertop, put something in it, and walk away and come back later and have it still standing. I've had the suction work anywhere from a couple of minutes on something like a wood tabletop to a half an hour or more on a marble countertop. So I would just use that wisely. Don't leave something unattended in the vise. The vise itself seems to be fairly well built. It's metal, probably aluminum. It's listed as a 2 3/4 inch vise, meaning the mouth will open up 2 3/4 inches. Now, the vise has some rubber pads to go on the jaws to protect delicate things that you're going to clamp, in my case my bow. So when you have those on, it restricts the opening to a little less than 2 3/4 inches, maybe 2 5/8 inches. Other than that, it is an articulated, meaning it can swivel 360 degrees and rotate 90 degrees. You do that simply by loosening up the collar here, and it swivels on this ball action, up, down, in, out, and you can set your item in pretty much any orientation you want to work on it. And to tighten this collar up is all you need to do to hold the vise in place. Suction cup, nothing more than a big rubber pad with a lever that will apply suction when you turn it over. Now this is just a regular kitchen tabletop wood grain. It's not perfectly smooth, and it does tend to stuck onto this pretty good. So if we just turn this over to the open area and then push down on the vise, trying to do this one-handed, sorry. Push down on the vise and put the lever over, and now you can see that it is very well attached to the table. Like I said, it holds very well, but it won't hold very long. So if I were going to work on my bow on the table, I would not walk away with the bow stuck in the jaws. Well, let me show you real quick how it works on holding the bow, and then go through a couple of little items that I found that I would like to have done a little bit better. Okay, here we are. I've got the bow clamped into the vise. The vise stuck on our kitchen table, and it seems to be holding quite well. As I said, it's articulated, so I can loosen the collar up and move the bow to a different orientation if I want. Here's holding it almost horizontal, and you can see that it still holds fairly well. Once again, I wouldn't leave it like this very long because the suction will wear out and the bow will come off. This is just a standard diamond archery bow, single limb, and these clamps seem to hold it quite well. I've got a double split limb bow that is a little harder to find a good place to clamp onto it, but it will also hold it. Now here's an area with the vise that I don't like, and I would say this is a negative on this vise. The articulating arm is very short, probably just a slightly more than an inch. So you can see if you want to get it all the way down to the 90-degree position, you have a little problem with the plate mounting screws hitting the tightening collar on the articulating ball. Oh, there you go. Just shows you how it came loose. This is a problem if you want to get your bow up into a vertical position, say for levels, leveling the string, leveling the arrow, and that is definitely a problem. Also, with the articulating arm so short, it's hard to get your bow out over an open space so that you can have it vertical, and you may have to do a little different clamping or whatnot to get it to work out that way. So that's the major drawback. Second is, of course, the suction doesn't last. I would suggest working on a granite countertop, something much smoother than a wood tabletop, and you'll have much better results. But then again, I wouldn't trust it. But all in all, for $15 out the door, it would suit my needs for my occasional once or twice a year use to serve in some serving on my bow or tie in a new D-loop. So I would think it's a pretty good deal for folks like that. If you're going to do any serious bow work though, I would spend the extra money and get a dedicated archery vise. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope this has helped you make your decision.